ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं भरते कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परमपदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
We are seeing the Avatarinика Vashyam to the fifth chapter, connecting with the preceding chapter. It's a long Bhashya. The question of Arjuna is validated through this Bhashya. Bhashyakara gives the teaching of the fourth chapter very concisely, and then as an answer to the Purva Pakshi, who questions the validity of Arjuna, Bharat Bhashyakara gives a beautiful reply. So let us read just first paragraph. Already we have seen this. Karmanya karmayah pashyed iti arabhya
कर्मण्य कर्म यः पश्येत्यारभ्य
sayukta krishna karma krit
संयुक्तकृष्णकर्मकृत्
jnanagidagda karmanam
ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणम्
shariram kevalam karma kurvan
शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्
yadrichalavasantushtah
यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टः
brahmarpanam brahmavihi
ब्रह्महविः
धर्मजान विद्धितान सर्वान
सर्वान्
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ
ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि
ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि
योगसंन्यस्तकर्माणम्
योगसंन्यस्तकर्माणम्
इत्येतैः वचनैः
एतैः वचनैः
सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासम् अवोचत् भगवान्
सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासम् अवोचत् भगवान्
चित्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठ इति
चित्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठ इति
अनेन वचनेन योगं च कर्मानुष्ठानलक्षणम् अनुतिष्ठ इति उक्तवान्। Up to this, the content of the fourth chapter is beautifully given. If you see all these shlokas, either the person must be a Atmavita, Jnani. The Jnanam is given up karma. Karmanya karmayaf pashyediti. That is the pivot shloka, central shloka. And all the other shlokas, as a commentary, it is there. So here, Jnana Agni Dakta Karmanam Shariram Kevalam Karma. It all talks about the Jnani, Vidwan, Atmavit, Vidrichalava Santushtaha, Jnana Agni Dakta Karmani, Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam. So it means sannyasa. Sanyasta Karmanam, Jnana Agni Dakta Karmanam, Sarvam Karma Kiram Partha Jnane Parisavapyate. Just Shariram Kevalam Kurvan. Yadricha Labha Santushtaha, not for the Grihastha. Yadricha Labha Santushtaha is for the sannyasi. But there are some shlokas there. Karmanyavi pravrutopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. That also is there. So, but a person can be in any ashrama, in brahmacharya ashrama or in gastha ashrama or in sannyasa ashrama also. But jnanam, that matters. Jnanena karma sannyasaha. So either the karma is by jnanam given up, meaning aham karta, aham bhokta iti, that ahankara and bhavakara. That is due to avidya, that has gone due to jnanam. That is jnana karma sannyasa. That is jnana karma sannyasa, whichever ashrama the person may be. If the person is a sannyasi, then of course sannyasi cannot do karma. Then also it is, and he is a jnani also. Jnana karma sannyasa. Or the person has taken to sannyasa ashrama to pursue jnana, having accomplished sadhana chatushtaya sampatti in all the other ashramas. Then also having been exposed to shastram, done enough shravanam, understood the tatparya of the Vedanta, Shruti, Smriti and Nyaya, all those, has done shravanam, mananam. Now, nishta has not happened. For that purpose also a person can take to sannyasa for nishta, gaining nishta, so for gaining stha prajnatvam. Therefore, either for the sake of nishta, a person can take to sannyasa, or the person is jnani and karma he has given up. That a person is either could be in grastha ashrama or any ashrama for that matter, or sannyasa ashrama. So both ways. That is what we call the type of, if the person takes a sannyasa, then we call that sannyasa vidvat sannyasa. Vidvat sannyasaha. Jnanena karma sannyasaha. Either due to jnanam, karma, he has given up. Karma has gone from him. He has given up means, because Shruti says sannyasaha kartavyaha, as though it's a vidhi. It's not a vidhi. The sense of sannyasa, he gives up karma. Doesn't serve any other purpose. Karma doesn't serve any purpose. It has served its purpose. Therefore, the point is, by jnanena karma sannyasa, one thing, or for jnanartham karma sannyasa. Jnanena karma sannyasa, or jnanartham karma sannyasa, for committing oneself exclusively to nididhyasanam, meditation, Vedantic meditation, contemplation on oneself, one can take to sannyasa, having done enough shravanam mananam. These are the sadhanas. Angi is Shravanam. Anga is Manana Nididhyasana. Like the example always it is given that Gargi, the Yagyavalkya and the Gargi Yagyavalkya, he takes to, he say, yes, sannyasa ashrama, handing over everything to his wives. He was a jnani in the sense he has gained clarity due to Shravanam and Mananam. That's why he gives Upanisha to his wife, Gargi. He had wisdom. But he has decided to take sannyasa because that Nishta was lacking, therefore he took to sannyasa. So therefore, for gaining Nishta, he took to sannyasa. So that is Vidvat sannyasa. So now in the fourth chapter, all these shlokas which Bhashyakara quotes talks about the person, either the person has given up karma through jnanam, or you can take the person has given up karma jnanartham. Jnanartham sannyasa. Karma tyagaha. Giving up. Because karma has got no role to play for, no role in gaining jnana. You know what? Only it is in preparing the person. That's why na karma na prajaya. Doesn't mean karma is not required. Everything has its place, the scheme of life. Na karma na prajaya dane na tyage naike amritattamanashahu. Only by tyaga. So it is achanegi sarva karma sannyasam. That's what is important. Sarva karma sannyasam. All actions are given up due to knowledge. Sarva karma sannyasam avochate. Having talked about this, the last shloka, the chapter Bhagavan said, you take to yoga. Yoga is karma yoga, performance of action. Chitvainam samshayam, having removed the doubt, you take to yoga, karma yoga. That is why the doubt arises in the mind of Arjuna. That Bhashyakara says. See, having presented karma sannyasa, karma anushtanam kuru, iti, Bhagavan says. Therefore, it is natural that doubt arises in the mind of Arjuna, anyone for that matter. So that Bhashyakara says. Tayogo ubayoscha
उभयोश्च
karmanushtana karma sannyasa
कर्मानुष्ठान कर्म
कर्मसन्न्यासयोः
sthiti gativat
स्थिति
गतिवत्
paraspara virodhat
परस्परविरोधात्
ekena saha kartum ashakyatvat
एकेन सह कर्तुम् अशक्यत्वात्
कालभेदेन च अनुष्ठान विधान अभावात्
कालभेदेन
अनुष्ठानविधानाभावात्
अर्थात् एतयोगो अन्यतर कर्तव्य प्राप्तौ सत्याम्
तयोः अन्यतरकर्तव्यता प्राप्तौ सत्याम्
यत् प्रशस्यतरम्
यत् प्रशस्यतरम्
एतयोः कर्मानुष्ठान संन्यासयोः
एतयोः कर्मानुष्ठानकर्मसन्न्यासयोः
तत् कर्तव्यं न इतरत् इति
तत् कर्तव्यं न इतरत् इति
एवं मन्यमानः
एवं मन्यमानः
prashasyatara bubutsaya.
प्रशस्यतर बुभुत्सया
Arjunah uvacha.
अर्जुनः
उवाच
उवाच
Sanyasam karmanam Krishna ityadina.
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां
कृष्ण
कृष्णात्यादिना
Tayoho referring to karmanushtana yoga, karma sannyasa yoga. Tayoho. Both are sthitigativata, we saw paraspara virodhat, mutually contradictory. One person, same person cannot perform both because one involves giving up. Other one involves involvement in karma. So, ekena purushena kartum, ekena referred to ekena purushena. And also, Bhashakara says, substantial Arjuna's question, and also, Kala Vedena cha. This is one hetu why Arjuna's question is valid. Number one, ekena saha kartum ashakyatvat. Cannot be done together. Number one. Second thing, Kala Vedena Anushtana Vidana Abhavat. There is no Vidanam, there is no rule given by the Lord at what times, what different times they should be performed. Kala Vedena. Because they are opposite, therefore they cannot be performed by the same person at the same time. So must be performed at different times. So that also should be given. Yes, Bhagavan has not said. Arthat means from that we can infer. Arthapatti. Therefore, one among the two. Anyatara kartavya pravto. Either of them to be done. Therefore, the question is, Ita prashasyataram. Prashasyataram is shreyaha, which is good, etayoho, among the two. Karmanushtana karma sannyasayoho, etayoho, which is prashasyataram. Prashasyataram is shreyaha, shreyas only. Prashasyataram, or tar pratyaya is used, prashasya. In fact, shreyas, the word is derived from prashasya. Prashasya shaha, and sutram is the, which is better. The shreyas is best. Tamab, the tarab tamab. Here it is prashyastara, because comparison is therefore two. Prashasya tarab etayoho. That should be done, not the other one. Iti evam thinking Arjunaha. Prashasya tarab bubutsaya, wanting to know which one is better, asked this question, Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna. Therefore his question, why he asked this question, Bhagavan Bhashikara says, wanting to know which one is better, karma sannyas, karmanushtana, karma sannyasayoho, iti prashasya taram, tat prashasya tarab bubutsaya, iti prashasya taram, tat ज्ञातुम इच्छया प्रशस्तितर बुभुत्सया अर्जुनः उवाच अर्जुनः पृष्टवान् asked his question. Now Purvapakshi has his question. Why this question? His question is the very question of Arjuna, because the question almost seems to be same as what he has in the third chapter. So therefore Purvapakshi says, Purvapakshi has, so because he is Purvapakshi, of course he has to say, he has to say something which is his say something that which is not acceptable according to him, but it is acceptable to us. So not acceptable that he will present. How it is acceptable, we will say, and make him accept also. So here is not a strong Purvapakshi, but anyone, of course, can have this doubt. Why this question again is asking? Arjuna, why is asking? So that Bhashikara says here, let us read Purvapakshi. We have seen this also in the last class. Nanucha Atmavidaha
अनुच आत्मविदः
Jnana Yogena
ज्ञानयोगेन
निष्ठां प्रतिपिपादयिषन्
निष्ठां प्रतिपादयिष्यन्
पूर्वोदाहृतैः वचनैः
पूर्वोदाहृतैः वचनैः
भगवान् सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासम् अवोचत्
भगवान् सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासम् अवोचत्
न तु अनात्मज्ञस्य
न तु अनात्मस्य
अतश्च कर्मानुष्ठानकर्मसन्न्यासयोः
अतश्च कर्मानुष्ठानकर्मसन्न्यासयोः
भिन्नपुरुषे विषयत्वात्
भिन्नपुरुषविशेषयत्वात्
अन्यतरस्य प्रशस्यतरत्वबुभुत्सया
अन्यतरस्य प्रशस्य तरत्वबुभुत्सया
अयं प्रश्नः अनुपपन्नः
अयं प्रश्नः अनुपपन्नः
So Purvapakshi says, Ayam prashtaha na upapannaha anupapannaha. Not tenable, not acceptable. Purva udahritaihi vachanaihi. Purva kutra chaturtha adhyaye udahritai means told. What? Vachanam. So, the previous chapter, all these shlokas, what Bhashyakara quoted, through those, they are words of Bhagavan Krishna, which Bhashyakara quoted. Therefore, Purva udahritaihi vachanaihi, Atmavidaha, Jnana Yoga Nishtam Pratipipadagishn, Bhagavan Sarvakarma Sannyasam Avochat. So Bhagavan taught Sarvakarma Sannyasam, giving up of all karma, with the intention of the desire to Pratipipadagishn, the desire to mention. Pratipipadagishn means Sananta, we have seen. Desire to mention. Padadatu causative. Pratipipadagishn. So, desire to mention, desire to prescribe. Pratipaditum ichan, desire to reveal. So, therefore, he talked about Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga Nishtam is Jnana Yoga Nishta, Jnana Yoga. Nishta through Jnana Yoga. Sarvakarma Sannyasam. Avochata Bhagavan. He taught Sarvakarma Sannyasa. So, it is Atmavidaha. The word is important. Atmavidaha means Jnani. Atmavidaha. Atmavidaha. Atmanam veti iti Atmavidaha. So this Upadesha, Jnana Yoga Nishtam, for whom? Purva Udahritaihi Vachanehi Bhagavan Sarvakarma Sannyasam Avochit, for whom? Atmavidaha. For a Jnani. So therefore, Atmavidaha, the word Atmavidaha is, see, if it's an Atmavita, it's a Jnani, then what sannyasa is? What Sarvakarma sannyasa is? Because already is a Jnani. So Jnani has to give up karma is. Because he has given up karma, that is why it is Jnani. But here, Atmavidaha, the word, you need to understand. The person has gained Jnanam, but not yet Nishta. That is why Atmavidaha, Jnana Yogena, Nishtam Pratipipadation. If you read together, then can make out the meaning of the word Atmavidaha. The context is important to understand the meaning of the word. If the person is Jnani, after getting Jnanam also, after getting Jnanam, the person that is Jivan Muktaha, Will he continue to study Shastram? Shastram has done the purpose. Then he will dismiss a Shastram also. Will he continue to do again Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam? Then he is not a Jnani. Therefore, here Atma Vidaha is the person has done Shravanam and Mananam, but Nididhyasanam, but that is, by that, the person gains Nishtha, but that has not happened. The next, that is, Nishtha has not yet gained. That is why the word Jnana Yoga again and Nishtha is there. With the desire to mention the Nishtha through Jnana Yoga for the Atmavita by the words which have been by the Upadesha instruction given in the previous chapter, Bhagavan Sarva Karma Sannyasam Avochat. So I told what is Vidvat Sannyasa? That is what it is. The person has then understood the Tatparyam of the Shastram, but Nishtha to be gained, like Yajnavalkya. Therefore, for such person, Sarva Karma Sannyasam is prescribed. Having done enough Shravanam Mananam, Jnanartham, that is Nishtartham, Jnane Nishta. Jnane Nishta, Jnana Yoga. So tadartham sarva sannyasam avochat natu anatmajnasya anatmavidaha. So that Vidvat sannyasa alone is presented through different words. These words are coined by our acharyas in the parampara. Here, Shankaracharya doesn't mention Vidvat sannyasa, Vidisha sannyasa and all. That we can make out by understanding, by reading the passages of the Bhashya. So, therefore, Vidvat sannyasa, natu anatmajnasya. Anatmajnasya is anatmavidaha. Atmanam na janati. Therefore, not for the ignorant, only for the jnani. Only for the jnani, sarva karma sannyasam, nishthartham, avochat, Bhagavan. Therefore, karmanushtana karma sannyasayoho, भिन्न पुरुष विषयत्वात् अन्यतरस्य प्रशस्तर्वबुत्सयायं प्रश्नः अनुपपन्नः. Therefore, karmanushthanam and karma sannyasa, these are for two different people. Therefore, choosing one among the other, which one is better among the two? That prashasyattaratva bubutsa taya, the question asked by Arjuna, not tenable. The Purupakshi. Prashasyattaratva, status of being the but one is better among the two. Bubutsaya jnatum ichchaya. Arjuna asked this question. Therefore, that is not tenable. Iti Purupakshi says. Then, for that answer, Bhashyakara says, let us read. Satyam eva
Satyam eva
tvat abhiprayena prashnaha na upapadyate.
तत् अभिप्रायेण प्रश्नः न उपपद्यते.
Prashtuhu swabhiprayena punaha prashnaha yujyate eva iti vadamaha.
स्वाभिप्रायेण
पुनः
पुनः
प्रश्नः
प्रश्नयुज्यते
युज्यते एव इति
वदामः.
वदामः.
So, Satyam eva, yes, it is true. What Purupakshi asked is, it's true only. So, Bhashyakara acknowledges, yes. So, Atmavidaha eva sarvakarma sannyasaha kartavyaha iti bhagavata uttam. Natu anatmavidaha satyam eva. That's true. That is from your standpoint. Tvat abhiprayena. Abhipraya, from your view, standpoint. This question is not tenable. But you understood, that's why you're asking this question. There is clarity in you, therefore you say this question is not tenable. You understood the words of the Bhagavan of the previous chapter, that Bhagavan talked about the sannyasa, which is characterized by jnanam, that is jnana karma sannyasa. Nishtartam sannyasaha kartavyaha, that you understood. But what about prashtuhu? What about the questioner? Swa abhiprayena punaha prashnaha yujyate evati vadamaha. We say, from the standpoint of the questioner, that is Arjuna, it is tenable only. So, from Arjuna's standpoint, the question is tenable only. It is upapannaha eva, iti aham, iti vayam vadamaha, we say. Then Purvapakshi says, katham, katham, how do you say? Purvodahritaihi vachanaihi
पूर्वोदाहृतैः
वचनैः
bhagavata karma sannyasasya
भगवता
भगवता
कर्मसन्न्यासस्य
कर्मसन्न्यासस्य
कर्तव्यतया विवक्षितत्वात्
कर्तव्यतया
कर्तव्यतया
विवक्षितत्वात्
प्राधान्यम् अन्तरेण च
प्राधान्यमन्तरेण
प्राधान्यमन्तरेण
च
कर्तारं तस्य तस्य कर्तव्यत्व असम्भवात्
तस्य
कर्तारस्य
कर्तव्यत्व असम्भवात्
कर्तव्यसम्भवात्
अनात्मविदपि
अनात्मविदपि
कर्ता पक्षे प्राप्तः
कर्ता पक्षे प्राप्तः
अनूद्यते एव.
अनूद्यते एव.
So, ज्ञानार्थं संन्यासः विद्वत् संन्यासः. That is for Atmavidaha. We'll see background and then I will explain this slide. But Arjuna's question, Anyat, that Pashasya Tara Tabubutsaya is Yaha Prashtaha Arjunena. Tat Saha Prashnahu Upapannaha iti Vaktavya. That we have to prove it. How do we prove that? Urupakshi himself told, Jnanartham sannyasa, therefore it is Vidvat sannyasa. Sannyasa, that is giving up everything, taking to sannyasa. But a person can give up everything, all the karma which he had been doing in the Grastha ashrama or any ashrama, taking sannyasa. They are also karma sannyasa. But he is not Atmavit. He wants to know the Brahma Tattvam, Atma Tattvam. Therefore takes to sannyasa. Therefore he takes a sannyasa. That type of sannyasa is Vividisha sannyasa. In fact, that is Krama sannyasa. Kramena. Having been in the Grastha, having been in the Brahmacharya ashrama, studied Shastram, then in the Grastha ashrama further Shastra, Prayoga, etc. Having done all the karmas, karmanushtan, nitya karmanushtanam. Now he has gained relatively antakarana shuddhi, but he has not yet involved in in-depth study of the Vedanta Bhaha of the Veda. So therefore now wanting to know, having parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha, nirvedam ayat, has got vairagya. Now he wants to know, he has done enough analysis, the limitations of the dharmartha kama purushartha. So therefore he wanting to know takes to sannyasa. So that's the icha is there, drive is there, icha is there. That's called vividisha sannyasa. Veditum Icha Vividisha. Therefore takes a sannyasa. So Vividisha it implies the person doesn't know Atma. Therefore Anatmavit only is Anatmavit. What about Vidvat sannyasa is Atmavit. That is why Atmavidaha Jnana Yogena Nishtam Pratipipadeshana iti Bhashyakara said. I mean, Purupakshi, through the mouth of Purupakshi. Now, Anatmavit, the person taking to Vividisha sannyasa is Atmavit or Anatmavit. Anatmavit only. Atmavit taking sannyasa is Vidvat sannyasa. Anatmavit taking sannyasa is Vividisha sannyasa. Anatmavit means Ajnani only. What about Karma Yogi? He's also Ajnani. He's also Ajnani. That wanting to gain Jnanam, therefore he takes to Karma Yoga as Karma Yoga sadhana, which gives Antakarna Shuddhi. And Vividisha sannyasa, now having done enough homework and gained Pakvata, the maturity, the life has taught him enough lessons and he has gained the Pakvata, the maturity. He has reached a saturation point. Therefore, wanting to know takes a sannyasa, that is Vividisha sannyasa. The Vividisha sannyasa, therefore it implies the person taking Vividisha sannyasa is Ajnani. And the person who is doing karma as a sadhana is also an Ajnani. So, but sannyasa meaning both that sannyasa with the Vividisha sannyasa, karma tyaga is involved. But one is Atmavit, other one is Anatmavit. One is Atmavit, other one is Anatmavit. And Karma Yogi also Anatmavit only. So therefore, Anatmagyasya natu karma Anatmagyasya karma sarva karma sannyasam not for Anatmavidaha. But Purupakshi himself says, that Purupakshi himself he says Anatmagyasya na Atmavidaha sarva karma sannyasam avachat. So therefore, the Anatmagyasya then what? Under Anatmagyaha or Anatmavidaha, two people come. That is, one is Karma Yogi, Ajnani. Other person wanting to know taking sannyasa, he is also an Ajnani only. Only thing is, for the Karma Yogi, Karma Yoga is a sadhana, which prepares him for Jnanam. And for the other Anatmavita, was taking sannyasa, he wants to gain Jnanam, therefore takes a sannyasa. He is also Anatmavita. He is also Anatmavita. So therefore, your पूर्व उदाहृतैः वचनैः भगवता कर्मसन्न्यासस्य कर्तव्यतया विवक्षितत्वात् पूर्व उदाहृतैः. Your Bhashyakara, he doesn't dismiss, but Bhashyakara has to do the reconciliation of the Purvapakshi's words and Arjuna's question. Otherwise, if Arjuna's question is, suppose we accept it's Anupapanaha, then from 5th chapter onwards, we should not study at all. But we have to validate the question of Arjuna. That's why he says, Sarva, this karma sannyasasya kartavyataya vivakshitatvat. Purva udagratayi vachanagi, that is in the previous chapter, 4th chapter, the statements of the Lord. And all these, the shlokas, karmanya karma if pashyet, jnana karmanam, etc. So what was presented by the Lord is karma sannyasa, that is for atmavit, that is vidvat sannyasa. Vidvat sannyasasya. Karma sannyasa for atmavit is vidvat sannyasa. Karma sannyasa for atmavit is vidvat sannyasa. Atmavidaha vidvat sannyasa. Kimartam vidvat sannyasa nididhyasanartam jnanartam. Okay, the first kartavyataya karma sannyasasya atmavidaha vidvat atmavidaha uktaha, to be done. Karma sannyasasya vidvat sannyasasya. Karma sannyasa for atmavit. Atmavidaha karma sannyasasya kartavyataya should be done. Vivakshitatvat. Vivakshitatvat. Vaktum ichcha vivaksha. Therefore, with an intention to tell, that is hetu. For that, karma sannyasasya kartavyatvam kartavyataya vivakshitatvat. That is vidvat sannyasa. That is karma sannyasa for the atmavit. That is vidvat sannyasa. That is mandatory for them with an intention to tell vikshit tasmat bhagavata uktam. Now pradanyam antarena cha kartaram tasya kartavyatva asambhavat anatmvidapi karta pakshe praptaha anudyate eva. Meaning pradanyam is primary. So which is primary, which is important, which is pradhana vishaya of the fourth chapter. Karma sannyasa for atmavit, that is the pradhanya vishayaha. Purva udakritahi vachanehi bhagavata atmavidaha karma sannyasasya vidvat sannyasasya kartavyataya vivakshiratvat. With an intention, vivaksha is vaktam ichcha, the desire to tell that vidvat sannyasa should be taken, that is the hetu. Therefore, the fourth chapter, through all the statements, Bhagavan said. Therefore, pradanyam is, the topic is, the primary topic of the fourth chapter is karma sannyasa for atmavidaha. Antarena cha kartaram tasya kartavyatva asambhavat. So tasya is kasya, sannyasasya, the pronoun is used. Pradanyam antarena is without, vina. Yesterday also we saw prada and antarena will govern dvitiya vivakti. So kartaram antarena, I don't connect like that. Pradana antarena cha kartaram. That kartara dot is missing. Anuswara, that anuswara is missing. Antarena cha kartaram. Kartaram antarena. Kartaram antarena means without karta, without the doer. The one who gives up is the one renunciator. Without the tyagi, one who gives up. Tasya referring to sannyasasya. Kartavyatva asambhavat. Without the renunciator. Kartaram antarena. See, we say all this kartavyaha, like atato brahma jignasa kartavya. We say that should be done as it's a vidhi. The sannyasa kartavyaha should be done. That is kartavya means it is mandatory. So the doer is there, no? The doer is not yet nullified. The doer is not nullified, it is there. If it is nullified, then it's jnani. The sense of giving up is there. Even for Vidvat sannyasa also. Taking to sannyasa for jnanartham, he gives up. The sense of giving up karta is there. So, therefore, kartar mantra, without karta, sannyasasya asambhavat. Impossibility of sannyasa without the person taking to sannyasa. So, karta is there. Sannyasa karta. So, therefore, कर्तार अंतरेण तस्य संन्यासस्य कर्तव्यत्व असंभवात् अनात्मवित् अपि कर्ता पक्षे प्राप्तः अनुद्यते एव अनात्मवित् अपि अनात्मवित् is आत्मानं न जानाति अनात्मवित्. Did Bhagavan talk about anatmavit? No, Bhagavan did not talk about anatmavit. He talked about only atmavidaha. That is what Bhagavan also said. Purvapakshi says Purvavadavrtahi vachaneki anatmavidaha iti. Who is anatmavit? Anatmavit is the one who has taken up to karma as a yoga, anatmavit. The one who takes to sannyasa for knowing, that is for Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana, Shravanam, Nididhyasanam, after having done all the grasthashrama karma, gained enough pakvata, that is, if that person also anatmavit, and that sannyasa is Vividisha sannyasa. That's why in the reading itself I said, under anatmavit category, two people come. One is karma yogi, other one is Vividisha sannyasi. So, therefore, since the fourth chapter dealt with Vidvat sannyasi, Arjuna asking this question, not questioning about Vidvat sannyasa. His doubt is about Vividisha sannyasa. But Vividisha sannyasa, Anatma is also a candidate. Anatma also. So therefore, Paksha means on the other side, another option. Anatma vidapi, and Ajnani also can take to sannyasa, Vividisha sannyasa. So therefore, Anudyate eva, that is what is implied. So therefore, Bhagavata sannyasasya kartavyatva ya vivakshitatvat pradanyam antarena cha kartaram tasya kartavyatva sambhavat anatmavidapi karta pakshe praptaha anudyate eva. Pakshe, on the other side, anudyate eva, it is implied. What is implied? Anudyate eva Bhagavata. Anudyate eva by the Lord. Kartaram antarena, without the karta, without the agent, giving up of karma is impossible. Kartavyatva asambhavat. Therefore, without karta, there cannot be giving up. So therefore, karta is there, both in Vidvat sannyasa as well as Vividisha sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa is ajnani. Vidvat sannyasa is jnani. Under ajnani category, both these people come, karma yogi as well as Vividisha sannyasi. So Arjuna's question is from the standpoint of Vividisha sannyasa. That is anudyateva, that is what is approved by the Lord also. That is why Bhagavan answers. Being an ajnani, the person can take to either karma yoga for preparing oneself, or having done and gained pakvata, he can take to Vividisha sannyasa. So both are there. Now, since both are there, now the question is valid. So therefore, which is easier? Sannyasa is easier. That is why he says, I can take to Vividisha sannyasa It means Arjuna thinks he is prepared. Bhagavan knows whether he is prepared or not. So now see how the question is of Arjuna is validate. Arjuna question is from the standpoint of Vividisha Sannyasa. For Vidvat Sannyasa, Atmavit is the Atmavidaha Vidvat Sanyasaha. Whereas for Vividisha Sannyasa, Anatmavidapi Pakshe Karta Praptaha. Karta Praptaha. Karta is the agent, the renunciator, giving the one who gives up. Praptaha, possibility is there. So therefore Arjuna's question is approved by the Lord. Therefore only Bhagavan answers. So what Bhashikara says here to Purvapakshi, you are saying only two things: Vidvat Sannyasa for Atmavita, Karma Yoga for Anatmavita. But Arjuna doesn't perceive like that. How Arjuna perceives is Karma Yoga for Ajnani, Vividisha Sannyasa also for Ajnani. Arjuna being an Ajnani, instead of taking Karma Yoga, which is very difficult, Ghora Karma, that is Yuddha, Vividisha Sannyasa is a Shastra prescribed Vividisha Sannyasa for Jnani. Therefore, he has Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punar Yogam Cha Shamsasi. Therefore, that question is valid only. That's because the question is valid, approved by the Lord, therefore only Lord also answers. Otherwise, Bhagavan, why should he answer? So, having talked about Karma Sannyasa, which Arjuna in the 4th chapter, which Arjuna understood as this sannyasa is for Ajnani also. Ajnani meaning that Vividesha sannyasa, he understood as Vividesha sannyasa. Therefore, only it's asking this question. So, just Bhashikara here he makes the Purvapakshi clear that Purvapakshi has got only this in mind. One is Atmavidaha Vidvat Sanyasaha, Anatmavidaha Karma Yogaha. Whereas in the mind of Arjuna, Anatmavidaha Karma Yogaha, number one, that is first paksha, pratama paksha. Vikalpena, another paksha is Anatmavidaha Vidisha Sanyasaha. So for Arjuna's question is valid or not? Now where is this Vividisha Sanyasa, Vidvat Sanyasa, all these things come? In fact, these words are coined from the words of the Bhashikara only. That is said. The next line, let us read. Na punaha
न पुनः
Atmavit Kartarkatvam Eva
आत्मवित्
कर्तृकत्वमेव
त्वमेव
Sanyasasya Vivakshitam
सन्न्यासस्य विवक्षितम्
विवक्षितम्
Iti Evam Manvanasya Arjunasya
इति एवं
एवं
मन्वानस्य
मन्वनस्य
अर्जुनस्य
अर्जुनस्य
Karmanushtana Karma Sanyasa Yogo
कर्मानुष्ठानकर्मसन्न्यासयोः
कर्मानुष्ठानसंन्यासयोः
Avidvat Purusha Kartarkattvamapi
अविद्वत्पुरुषकर्तृकत्वमपि
कर्तृकत्वमपि
Asti Iti Purvoktena Prakarena
अस्ति इति
इति
पूर्वोक्तेन
पूर्वोक्तप्रकारेण
प्रकारेण
Tayoho Paraspara Virodhat
तयोः
परस्परविरोधात्
परस्परविरोधात्
Anyatarasya Kartavyatve Prapte
अन्यतरस्य
अन्यतरस्य
कर्तव्यत्वे
कर्तव्यत्वे
प्राप्ते
प्राप्ते
Prashyasya Taram Cha Kartavyam
प्रशस्यतरं च
प्रशस्यतरं च
कर्तव्यम्
कर्तव्यम्
Na Itarat Iti
न
न
इतरत्
इतरति
इति
इति
Prashyasyatar Vividishaya Prashnaha Na Anupapannaha
प्रशस्यतरविविषया प्रश्नः न
प्रश्नः
अनुपपन्नः
अनुपपन्नः
We will discuss in the next class, but this alone I will tell you now. Atmavit Kartarkatvam. The word Atmavit Kartrikatvam. Kartrikatvam, Kartrika, you can make out this is Bhagavad Samasa, Ka Pratyaya. Kartrika, Atmavit Kartrikatvam, Kartrika. Then Tasya Bhavaha Atmavit Kartrikatvam. The status of being Atma with Karta. Atmavit Karta Yasya Sanyasasya Saha Sanyasaha Atmavit Kartrikaha Sanyasaha. Bhagavad Samasa. Anya Pada Pradhana is Bhagavad, we know. Two words are there. Atmavit. Atmanameti iti Atmavit. Karta. Does it talk about Atmavit or Karta? No. In the compound, it talks about sannyasa. Atmavit, Kartrikaha, Sannyasaha, Atmavit, 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 Karta, Yasya Sannyasasya, Saha, Atmavit, Kartrikaha. Meaning what? Atmavit is a Karta of what? Sannyasa. He is the one who gives up karma. Who Atmavit? What sannyasa is? Vidvat sannyasa. That is what the word is. Atmavit Kartrika is. Atmavit Kartrikaha Sannyasaha is the word for Vidvat sannyasa. The parampara, acharyas understand the meaning of these words and then they coin these words Vidvat sannyasa. So Atmavit Kartrikatvam eva sannyasasya vivakshitam. Sannyasa is vivakshitam only for Atmavit. Natu Anatmavit. So vivakshitam, uktam, vivakshitam. So this Atmavit Kartrikatvam eva sannyasasya vivakshitam. Intended. What is intended? Sannyasa is intended only for Vidvat. Sannyasa only is intended for the person who is Atmavit. That sannyasa is Vidvat sannyasa. Iti evam manvanasya arjunasya karmanushtana karma sannyasayoho avidvat purusha kartrikatvam asti iti. So the Atmavit Kartrikatvam is Atmavit Karta. Atmavit Kartrikaha Sanyasaha is Vidvat Sanyasaha. Then Anatmavit Kartrika Sanyasa is the same way. Anatmavit Karta Yasya Sanyasasya Saha Sanyasaha. Anatmavit Kartrika Sanyasaha. That is Vividisha Sanyasa. So Atmavit Atmavit Kartrikaha Sanyasaha, one type of sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasa. Anatmavit Kartrikaha Sannyasa, another type of sannyasa, that is Vividisha sannyasa. These are the words from this. In the parampara, the acharyas have coined this word Vidvat sannyasa, Vividisha sannyasa. We don't say Atmavit Kartrika sannyasa, Anatmavit Kartrika sannyasa. These words, we don't say like that. So acharyas, studying the Bhashya, the tradition, they have coined all these words. Like Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, where it is given, which text, which Upanishad talks about Sadhana Chatushtaya, the word Sadhana Chatushtayam, fourfold qualifications. Na viruto duscharita, na shanto, na samahitaha in Kathopanishad. Similarly in Mundaka and other places. In Gita, of course, the 20 spiritual disciplines in the 13th chapter. From all these, the qualities, all these are collected. Of course, Kathopanishad also, when Nachiketa rejects everything. Tavai bhavaha tavanutya gite. So, like all these are collected, therefore, Vairagya, Viveka, Samadhi Shatka Sampatti, and they say Sadhana Chatush Sampatti. Out of the Upanishads and the Gita, these qualities which are scattered, which are mentioned in a scattered way, they are collected and given in the form of a sadhana chatusampatti, and they define it. Similarly, here also Vidvat Sannyasa, Vividisha Sannyasa, Atmavita Kartrika Sannyasa is Vidvat. Anatmavita Kartrika Sannyasa is Vividisha. So, Bhashakara uses that. You will see, we'll talk about this passage in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद ऋषिवरजी.
धन्यवादः.
धन्यवाद जी.